Man, Engineer again. This is just Sync making value of the Engineer once again. Bringing it back here, clearly. Kraken, Keeper of the Forest, Cthulhu Swiftblade were the bans, by the way. Magma's first pick into a Parasite, Silhouette into Engineer, and then Ophelia coming out. But how about that Silhouette once again coming out for Bad Monkey Gaming? We did see it in that first game, and, obviously in the end it wasn't enough to eventually get work done. But they're going to try it again here, as it worked out yesterday, obviously. And they got the Ophelia counterpart as well to go into that jungle. So, again, another case of jungle versus jungle here, but Tankafet will most likely get his hands on that Ophelia, but yeah, I mean, that's an early Silhouette pick, too. What do you make of that?
I think it's good because, I mean, with Silhouette, it's kind of dependent on how the rest of your team can do. Like, if they have a good start, then you can easily snowball. But at the same time, even if your team has a bad start, you can still rotate Silhouette into sort of maybe more of a ganking sort of style of Silhouette. You could pick up maybe the portal key and start ganking and being your playmaker, even if you're playing as the #1 carry. And because of that versatility, I think it's fine to be picking up Silhouette here just early on. We saw obviously Zinc have definitely shown that they can play Silhouette themselves. So it's always, it's such a strong hero at the moment in the meta game, and at the same time, it's a high possibility that Zinc might pick up themselves. So picking up second pick here is going to guarantee you, obviously, the Silhouette. It's going to guarantee you some kind of late game potential as well. And BMG play it well, so I think it makes sense, and it's a good pick here coming out from Tankafet.
Yeah. So they're going to go with it once again. We'll see how that works out. The Bubble's the final pick, of course. Doctor Repulsor, Prisoner, Pebbles coming out with the ban so far. So, yeah, speaking of hook heroes, they're not going to let them get the Prisoner at least. And then they throw a ban on an Empath even on top of that. So, I mean, you're seeing the pick so far. We're already with that Magnus especially coming out. I wonder if they would even... I don't know if they necessarily ran a Suicide Magnus. Again, we've talked about how Casius just happened to be doing that, especially today for what would seem to be like 3 games in a row. But my point is that they'll probably end up with that for Super KGE. But again, just don't take the chances where they're going to. And hell, they even banned. Oh, no, that was actually banned by Tankafet right there on the. Oh no, Revenant. For some reason, I thought that was. Who was I thinking that was? Wait, am I?
One's the Prisoner? Or?
No. Raviter for some reason. I've definitely blanked right there. I thought that was Raviter for a second. I was like, interesting, but no, Revenant, and then into Rhapsody coming out to finish things off.
For BMG, it's going to depend whether they want to run Suicide Magnus or Dual Lane. I mean, I don't think Zibe plays Suicide Magnus too much. I mean, he does play a lot of random heroes, but I don't think Magnus is one of those. So I think we're going to see a Dual Lane Magnus here. And, I mean, Dual Lane Magnus is so strong, particularly when you obviously have a jungle factor, because obviously that lead stun can fit so well for the follow-up from Ophelia. Like, compared to, say, Pebbles, which is hard to really sort of land the stun, Magnus is just perfect sort of follow-up from any initiation from Ophelia. And oh my god, Frankie.
Yes! Really? Oh, man, you know what? I'm just happy all sorts of ways now. Wow. They're going to go Berserker here in what is... I mean, this isn't a just, yes, I stress a lot how I think Berserker's underrated. He's a powerful hero. We never get to see him, blah, blah, blah. Berserker has not been played before. Go figure. But to pick him up when they're on the verge of losing a series, and not only that, but a cycle as a result...
That's ballsy,
man, that is ballsy, but I like it. I love it. I love it.
Love the balls.
And, it's going to get them a victory, and we are going to see a final game, 100%. Hands down, Berserker is going to go ham. I mean, we're going to see what I've been talking about, man. I mean, this hero's underrated. I'm telling you.
Don't get me wrong, man. Berserker's an incredibly strong hero, but I think this is probably one of the worst matchups to play in because...
Shut up.
There's a few things that is going to be a little bit awkward. First of all, you have like a Magma, so good sort of Lion, Sun, and Electrician. Man, these crazy picks here pick up here, but I mean, Electrician works well with Berserk because obviously he can give him the lockdown to sort of dish out that incredible damage.
No, but hold on, real quickly about Electrician. Now, there's one reason why they picked up Electrician. I guarantee you. Look at Silhouette. That's why they picked up Electrician so they can instantly kill the illusions. No other reason for it right there, other than that. Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it'll instantly kill her illusion.
I mean, it does instantly kill enemy illusions, but I don't think that counts as... I mean, does...
Why wouldn't it?
I guess... I mean, it does say, obviously, Shadow isn't an illusion, so I guess maybe it actually is.
Yeah, I mean... I find it hard to believe that it wouldn't. Because yeah, I agree with you. My initial reaction was a little bit like, wait, is that actually that's a hard counter right there? But
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, if you read the tooltip, it says like it summons an illusion. Obviously, and an electrician says it instantly kills illusions or enemy illusions. So, in that case, it can work very, very well actually. And also, yeah, and the big factor obviously is the incredible lockdown. 4.75 seconds gives more than ample time for Berserker to dish out his damage. But quickly, I'll just rotate over to why I don't think Berserker is the greatest pick in this game, particularly because they've got Magma, so they've got some ground stuns that obviously will still be doing a lot of lockdown for Berserker. More particularly, actually, you have the Pharaoh. I don't want to get involved in analysing if they're going to start jumping on heroes, but secondly, they've got the Pharaoh as well, so great lockdown with the Wall of Mummies, because it's going to keep Berserker inside of those Wall of Mummies, and he won't be able to dish out his damage because he's going to get sort of kited. And secondly, you obviously got quite a mobile hero with Silhouette as well, so all these factors are very, very hard for Berserker to dish out his damage because obviously the lockdown from Wall of Mummies, and obviously the sort of mobility from Silhouette, obviously with the tree grapple, the portal key, and the swapping of the illusions. So I mean, I'm all cool for picking up Berserker, but in this matchup, I think there could have been a better carry, particularly maybe a ranged carry in this case. But obviously, it does pair quite well with Electrician, and obviously, Electrician is going to reduce the mobility from Silhouette if it kills the illusion, which I'm about 85% sure it does. So, I'm looking forward to it, man.
We're stressing innovation, and that was always fun to see. How about, Sync doing it here, obviously. Not only with the Berserker, the Electrician, but the Berserker going a long lane. In fact, right off the bat, Chain Spike comes out. Torture was not expecting this. He's going to be fine in the end. But yeah, they're going to the Berserker pseudo tri-lane here. And Parasite, of course, into the jungle with those boots and Engineer nearby to support.
Haxrin's playing Silhouette as well when we saw Zibe play it the other day, or today.
That's true.
That's really weird.
Now, I think it might be because now that it's the Magnus. Because now, if it was Kraken, like we said before, I think it's just because Haxrin, if anything, is more comfortable on a hero like Kraken. I mean, I find it hard to believe that Haxrin was not comfortable on Magnus, to be frank. But I don't know. Maybe he just stepped up and was like, I want to play this game.
Who knows? Maybe it is. But I mean, Haxrin used to play incredibly strong, like Silhouette. Like he reminds me of like Noob G kind of Silhouette, like incredibly strong. But yeah, you're right with that Electrician though. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see, but I'm about 85% sure because, according to the tooltip, it kills all illusions, and obviously it states that it's an illusion from Silhouette. But, I already like the lanes built up here by Zinc because they're actually shutting down the Silhouette. And, already it's only a minute and a half, but she hasn't got one CS yet. And if you can lock down the Silhouette, then it's going to, lock down any kind of carry potential here that the BMG might have. And at the same time, if you look at actually Berserker's GPM, nearly 300 GPM, and it's only 1 minute and a half, so already Zinc having a good start. And BMG, they need to have some rotation down to the bottom lane. Yet Ophelia is actually rotated into the the enemy jungle, so they're going to sack this bottom lane here, and this is going to be a little bit dangerous because Silhouette's going to get some bad farm, and while Zinc actually going to sort of control the bottom half of the map. And I disagree with Ophelia changing jungles because I think they could easily contest this if Ophelia's up for the challenge against Parasite. But
yeah. Well, for the time being, Ophelia going to be in that opposition's jungle. Actually gets a Catman champion right here. They may very likely try to go for something. I'm an Electrician. Again, have we seen Electrician before? I was freaking out about the Berserker. I didn't even notice any stats he put up about him. Electrician has not been played. So yeah, Sync running 2 heroes that have not been played before in Han Tour Season 3 on the verge of being down 2-1 here in Defense of the 5. So Support actually running into some trouble right here. Torture in a lot of trouble. In fact, here comes Berserker with the Chain Spike, maybe. Yep, gets the kill right there for the Bloodlust. So Engineer and Parasite no doubt doing most of the work, but they'll gladly give that to Berserker, and all of a sudden that GPM goes even higher as a result of that.
And this is honestly because Ophelia has rotated, because there's no kind of presence here. It's going to be 2v3, and they can dive this time and time again, particularly on the Torturer, because Silhouette isn't going to do too much against the Berserker, Engineer, and Parasite, because all he really has is obviously the tree grapple, and that's only a 1 second stun, and Torturer is just going to be food, and without any kind of support from Ophelia, then they can do this time and time again, and if Ophelia doesn't have a big impact here on the middle lane or the top lane, then this Ophelia change-up is going to be terrible, honestly. BMG might have a very, very rushed start here, but Parasite is actually rotating into his own jungle. I disagree with this because they can just farm this Torturer time and time again. I know he's going to try and put pressure onto the Ophelia, but Ophelia isn't having the biggest impact, so I would have liked to see Slap stay in his own jungle. Sorry, into the enemy jungle. and pressure mid and bottom, but it's going to rotate top, or top lane though.
Yeah, top lane. Here comes that Ophelia. Minotaur in there. Electrician now. He's got the energy absorption in 1 second. There's the electric shield. And he's going to use it right there. Exactly. Gives him minor move speed increase. It's still going to get stunned. There's a double stun, but he's just too tanky, man. I mean, that's what I was going to say earlier about Electrician. Yeah, even with the burst potential, eventually, he still will survive. You see Parasite coming to the last second. Going to go for a cleanup, maybe. If Parasite went for Ophelia, actually, that would have been a kill, but he wanted to try to make something happen on a Magnus. He might still get it. Leech in range. Yes, he gets it. And that is a level 2 Leech, of course, being a level 4. So, well played by Slapped right there. And hey, just so happens that he goes to his own jungle and it actually works out right there.
Yeah, that was actually a lot better in that case. But actually, Bubble's taking a lot of damage coming from a hasty Torture. He might be in a little bit of trouble, actually.
He is. No, he's going to be fine.
No, he wasn't.
Torture level 2, so.
Flint's must be playing Bubbles as well, man. Like, it's just so strange to me.
Yeah, well, I meant to point that out, too. I was sick. Yeah, Mickey, the one on Berserker. I guess I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, he's that kind of player himself.
Oh my god, it's only 500 GPM. Like, it's like 4
I'm
minutes
telling
in.
you, like, people doubt me for some reason. They just kind of laugh it off when I say Berserker's OP and underrated, but I'm telling you, they're going to wreck this game. Berserker's going to go ham. And we're gonna see
so
a final
far,
game.
it's just been Slapped honestly having the biggest impact because he's got the kill bottom and the kill top. He's controlling 2 lanes, and it's only 5 minutes into the game, and I feel he's tried for the gank top, but as you said, Electrician's just a little bit too tanky, and I mean, these early rotations from Slapped, honestly, is giving Zinc such an early momentum boost. And BMG will need to get some kills on the board, but I mean, look at their GPNs all across the board. They're just losing every single lane, and they'll need some kills if they want to actually start having some impact in this game.
Yeah. The Electrician, again, not only tanky, but his farm's pretty solid. And, you know, speaking of Electrician, too, when it comes to melee versus melee matchup, I mean, there's not many better heroes than an Electrician in a melee versus melee matchup. So I'm looking at Zebe's farm, and he's actually even doing, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised when he's got the Volcanic Touch himself, so he's actually contending pretty well. But Keizu is slightly winning. It is very even overall, I guess. So, honestly, I'm a little bit impressed, I would say, about the Magnus. But actually, bottom lane, here we go. Berserker going to the Torturer. Torturer doesn't stand a chance. Strength Sap is up. Down he goes. But now Berserker in trouble. What am I saying? He's Berserker. He's not in trouble. Oh, never mind, he is. Okay, he goes down. And so much for all that talk. So Berserker falls right there. Parasite ports in. Couldn't get there in time, though. And by the time he does get here, obviously, the fight is already over. So, now they still come out in numbers, but yeah.
A really big kill because I mean Mickey, I mean you know what happens when he starts snowballing, and I mean even after that death he's still 450 GPM, but I mean we could have seen 500 even 600 GPM on a hero that doesn't farm too fast. Actually, we got an invisible Bubbles here, so Affiliate might be in a little bit of trouble. Keltfield is not ready though, so body block. Look at this body block though.
But yeah, that's gotta be. It's like, wait, why am I being blocked? This map sucks, and all of a sudden an Invis Bubbles comes out. So it's yeah, you see right there another case too. If speaking of, we haven't seen a couple heroes. Actually, top lane Casey gets picked off. The dive is real. Massive Pharaoh doing work. Pharaoh using the Wrath of the Pharaoh to get in there. So well played. But yeah, a lot of different playing heroes from 6. So 3 of the 5 players are playing a completely new hero as far as Hunter Season 3 is concerned. So that is definitely again worth noting there and reiterating. But a nice kill from BMG at the top lane. I mean, as far as a lot of positives for them, they got Magnus. Zibe is now farming 315 gold per minute as he gets that kill. And actually, some rotation coming out. They're going to leave Pharaoh up top, and they're going to try to make a point to get this farm on Magnus now. Get him that portal key. You know, again, this probably makes sense here.
I mean, at the moment, BMG's strategy has to be get some kills on the board because they are behind because of what kind of impact this Slapped has had. And the person that's going to have an impact is going to be Pharaoh. But talking of Pharaoh, he might be in a little bit of trouble, actually.
There comes the Minotaur, but no,
great
walls and pushes him back.
Because at the moment, there's not too much of a factor how Zibe can have an impact in the game without a portal key, but the initiation for Pharaoh is already inbuilt in, obviously, with the Wrath of the Pharaoh. So I'd like to see him get aggressive whenever the Wrath of the Pharaoh is off cooldown. I'd like to see him start ganking. Bottom lane is a perfect example. There's no kind of ward vision outside of the one that actually guards the rune vision. But if he TP's the bottom, I mean, Mickey's going to feed time and time again. Although they're going to try and put some harass on, but this ward is sort of giving him some kind of vision. And actually, they put a normal ward there, but no kind of counter vision. Actually, they need to sort of unblock this. But actually, Flensmeister's supported in as well, and I'd like to see Super KG sort of TP in as well because they need to get some kills on the board. They need to stop farming because they are far behind, and the only way to sort of come back into the game would be through ganking, and that would have to come from Pharaoh. So.
Huh. Yeah, so you saw the Berserker trying to tempt him right there, but in the end, no bite. So he'll just go back to farming. He does get the Beast Heart early on now. Very intrigued to definitely see what Mickey does here as far as his build. I mean, definitely plenty of options. You could go the Elder Parasite round to Sanitarius. You could go more of the I wouldn't be surprised to see Helm of the Black Legion, to be honest. Something like that, or it's going to be fun to see where he really goes. I know Staff of the Master is also actually a very powerful item on him, believe it or not. On Berserker. Basically, it can make up for not having that's the greatest thing to do, to get Elder Parasite, but also go Staff of the Master for the Shrunken Head effect. But anyways, middle lane, that's a rambling on. Pharaoh goes in to dodge the keg stun. Is he actually going to live? No, he's not, but it's going to come at a cost. Engineer goes down. Bubble's also going to be picked off, most likely, and yes, he will. So it is a 2-for-1 exchange. Yeah, Super KG at least hanging in there long enough.
And honestly, it's fine. Like, Super KG hasn't been getting a lot of fun, but he doesn't need to. He is the playmaker of the team. No one else can really start, getting these kills on the board. And yes, if he dies, he dies, but that's not the back. They need to get kills on the board, and 2-for-1 trades are perfect. Actually, top lane, Magnus might be in a little bit of trouble, just getting a little bit harassed from Electrician, but he might be in a little bit of trouble, actually.
Yeah, he's a lot of trouble, in fact. He stunts back in. He's going for the Russian. He's going for the big plays. Will it be enough? No, it will not. You know what? If he stood on top of him, it actually might have been enough. But now Magnus in trouble. The rocket just out of range, and in comes the tornado to cut him off. Yeah, if Zibbe did not actually panic right there, I think that would have been a kill.
No, I agree. And actually, the Pharaoh rocket just about missed as well, actually. So a little bit impactful. But yeah, I mean, Pharaoh needs to get involved in these kills every single time. He should just stop farming and get kills on the board, because at the moment they're 3 kills behind, and as a result they're 3,000 gold behind, and they can't give Zinc the sort of momentum. Whenever they have some good kills on the board, they always really take advantage of their lead, and you just cannot give Zinc any kind of lead in actually top lane.
They're going to go for the kill. Pharaoh is taken out. You saw Torturer chasing Bubbles the whole time. He's going to go and do plenty of damage. Magnus actually comes in. They're going to get a counter kill on a Flensmeister. I was going to say, Torture was on top of Bubbles that whole time as he was running over, so Pharaoh definitely knew what was up to an extent. He didn't know Parasite was there, to be fair, and that's obviously what kind of caught him off guard. So 1-for-1 is what it's going to end up being. Bottom lane, Berserker. He gets the Elder Parasite, by the way. He's going to try to get away, but no, the lockdown is real, and he does fall. Now, he could have used Carnage right there, but it probably still wouldn't have mattered, although I wonder if I mean, I don't know. Well, at level 1, I guess it's only 40% instead of up to 80% at level 3. So, yeah, probably still wouldn't have mattered in the end, but he does get taken out. Middle lane, nice hook on Engineer right here. He's going to keg stun, though. Will it buy enough time? Energy field goes down. Dude. And here comes the TP support. Super KG's like, yeah, this might have been a bad idea.
No shell surf on Bubbles.
Does he not? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it was on cooldown. Okay. That's curious. TP's in, doesn't have shell surf. Yeah. Oh, well, now he missed out on the kill chance.
That was a guaranteed kill, actually. And Parasite is flirting with death, actually.
Well, they still want this kill. They are going to find it, but now it's a little bit too late. Perhaps Ophelia comes in, and Bubbles going to be locked down. Nice take cover on the Minotaur stun, but Pharaoh standing his ground. Parasite, he takes over the creep. Down goes Bubbles, although the TP support is real. And Parasite just one more auto attack. Not going to be able to get away. And they do get it in on BMG. So great pursuit by Bad Monkey Gaming, and the teamwork is definitely looking pretty good here.
Exactly, and look at the kills. They need to get kills on the board, and they've found the kills. 8 kills to 8 kills now, and they're actually ahead in terms of experience, 2,100, and only a little bit behind in gold, but that's fine though. Honestly, they've got and stopped sort of the snowball potential. Even actually on Mickey as well. He was nearly 500 GPM, and talking to Mickey actually.
Berserker going on a torture. He's taking a lot of physical damage return though, and yeah, Silhouette gonna pick him off. You know, again, it's a great trade, but that's definitely a downside of Berserker, especially if you're going to go the other Parasite. Hey, I'm all for playing ballsy, and that's how you got to play the hero in the end, sure, but the increased damage he takes, not only from that, but on top of Carnage, I mean, it's quite a bit, and that kind of showed right there. The return damage was just way too intense. And he ended up falling. So that's where Elder Parasite. I don't know if it really was the best option. I mean, honestly would have liked to see the Whispering Helm if you want the lifesteal. But
nah, I mean it's almost cool, Bill, that you have to go Elder Parasite and Sanitarius. But normally you always go in Sanitarius first because it gives you that defensive capabilities. You still pick up the Elder Parasite because you need it for the attack speed. You hit incredibly hard, and so to really maximize the DPS, you need to get that attack speed. And the Elder Parasite is the best way to do it because it's so cheap. But the Sanitarius is definitely needed because he needs the tanky potential. He's only got 1200 HP at the moment, and obviously when he pops the Elder Parasite, then he is so vulnerable in that respect. So when he picks up the Insanitarius, though, he should be fine in terms of actually sort of defensive capabilities. Also, obviously, when he picks up the Staff of the Master, which I'm pretty sure he's going to go for. But honestly, I have to give a quick shout to Super KG. BMG were looking in very, very dire straits, but actually bottom lane before I go.
Yeah, they're going to dive on Magnus big time. I hear Zibby locked down. Oh my god, he actually lived a lot longer than we would expected. And that does buy time for the TPs to come in. Pharaoh and Torch are going to do what they can. It's just them, though. Not what you would want. Yeah, they needed at least Silhouette to be there as well if they wanted to turn that fight. That did not happen. And so they TP'd to death right there. And this is definitely going to be a tower kill on top of it all. So Berserker and his presence definitely being felt there. But again, as a team, Sync Esports looking very, very strong. So yeah, just as you're kind of getting at where BMG's all of a sudden started slowing this down and looking pretty good, that happens, and well, Sync now gains back momentum.
Yeah, and that was just honestly miscommunication. They're like one TB'd in and then one TB'd after. I mean, like, you have to assume that Zinc are going to go S5. And like I say always, you either take the team fight S5 or you make sure that you cannot get picked off. In that case, they actually split off and then give 3 hero kills to Zinc. And BMG were leading by quite a sizable margin, but that's completely swung into Zinc's favour. 2,000 gold lead to head them, but only 200 experience down. But, I mean, I was just going to say that BMG, particularly Super KG, gave them the opportunity to get back into this game. And, I mean, Zinc at the time of around 4,000 or 5,000 gold ahead. And it is honestly looking very, very scary because when Zinc gets the ball rolling, it looks very, very dangerous, and you think honestly it's going to be a quick game for Zinc, but they have got the kills back. But after those 3 kills given away, it's going to be hard for them to get back into this game. But again, it's going to be on Pharaoh particularly. He needs to get those ganks happening. But at the moment, Zinc are looking to sort of fight as 5, and I think BMG can do it. They've got the Astrolabe now on Ophelia, but they don't have the Nullstone on Silhouette, so maybe that's what they're going to wait for before they start going as 5.
Now, Steve Berserker here, he actually waited to level up his Mark for Death until level 10. I'm a little curious about that. I mean, ideally, if you get to the 1 point, say at level 4, I think you could argue is actually pretty beneficial. But, it's kind of one of those small things looking at his build. But, again, he has it now, and they'll start leveling that up. And, of course, speaking of attack speed, and especially movement speed in that case, too, it's great for helping to pursue. And, again, the greatest thing about it is that if you get a kill with it, then you can just refresh it and put it on somebody else. So keep that pain train going. Top lane, though, top tower specifically, it is dropping right here. Here comes Parasite. Can he time this? Of course he can, and that's the neutral creep deny. Yeah. That's the best way to do it, and unfortunately Parasite's the only one that can do that.
Yep. It's obviously no... what torturer, you're dead, my good sir.
Yep, he definitely is a good sir, and he is definitely dead.
Maybe?
Oh my god, maybe not. Ophelia comes in to support, but now actually, yeah, he overcommitted. He needed to stun Electrician right there, and now actually Ophelia's going to drop as well.
Oh dear. This is looking bad for BMG. They're going to lose the 2-1 tower top, and this is what I was talking about. Whenever you give a couple of kills to Zinc, expect the snowball to start happening. And I mean, it's not stopping now. They need to somehow get some kills on the board and stop the control. Make sure you can take the control outside of Zinc's head, but bottom lane, they might look and going on Mickey.
Bottom lane, here's the Berserker running away though. Carnage is up, and he's going to be able to get the distance. He's going back in. Here comes the Mammo Berserker. The right clicks, Mark for Death is applied. He pops out a Parasite. Unfortunately, the stun comes out though. And all of a sudden, Berserker's dead. So he tried to man up, as again that hero does, but good pursuit coming out from BMG. And able to lock him down long enough. But yeah, Sync, even without Berserker, they still want to make something happen here. Portal Key just picked up by Magnus, though. Obviously a very key pickup there.
Codex actually picked up from Parasite as well.
Yeah, I wonder what the logic is there, because, I mean, that's not something we see nowadays on Parasite.
I know it sounds really, really strange, but I think actually Codex is going to be picked up because they want to get rid of the Nullstone on Silhouette. Like, normally, obviously, you don't want to use it when they don't have a Nullstone, but the only way they can really lock down Silhouette is if they Codex him instantly and then also use the Face Hug to actually stop him using the illusion. Obviously, it's not too bad, obviously, to help the increased sort of burst, but I mean, that's the only kind of logic I can really think about, because otherwise the puzzle box is clearly the superior pick-off, because a lot of the heroes from BMG are still quite tanky, so the burst potential from Codex, like, he can't really take advantage of any kind of Tundra, so he's not going to be ganking too much, and I'm just a little bit surprised, but
yeah.
I think we are still going to see a puzzle box, but I think, honestly, he's going to leave it as level 1 just so he can get rid of the Nullstone from Silhouette.
Zibbe chases down the courier there at the top lane. Look at the Codex. Oh, the Aphelios touchdown comes out, and Silhouette will survive initially. Does she survive at the end? It looks like it, actually. Parasite doesn't even choose to try to commit for a kill. He probably thinks there's more support coming in. I mean, Magnus is here, so Silhouette is going to live. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, though, Super KG gets picked off by Bubbles and Electrician, it looks like. Electrician getting credit for the kill, and they're going to lose a little bit of push here in the middle lane.
Top lane, Magnus is going to go for this, I think, with Silhouette.
Silhouette,
yep.
Oh yeah, the Illusion's back up here. Yep, there's the Parasite. So again, can they get a low enough torch even coming in? Parasite's in trouble, and dead trouble make that, as he does get picked off. Here's that middle tower push, though, especially with them knowing Parasite going to chase down. They probably would have a little bit of freedom here to push it, but yeah, they're also realizing, okay, good amount of damage, let's fall back now. Let's not force the issue. Electrician, now, I was going to say, something, this is not a hero we see nowadays on the competitive scene, and again, the first time we've seen it on Hunter Season 3. But is he going to be going an icon here, the Glowstone? I mean, it's that or a staff. I mean, I want to say he did, when we did see Electrician more recently, the icon build was somewhat popular. Staff of the Master, I do agree, actually does have some logic to it as well.
Because yeah, it's going to help actually Berserker getting kited, because obviously it's going to shock onto Berserker and obviously give it to an ally as well. So I think it can work, because it gives him good stats as well. Obviously it's not as good as if he was going against a keeper, but the extra sort of mobility is obviously useful against obviously the sort of mobility from BMG. They're going to kite this Berserker a lot if they don't have the cleansing shock. So I do like the pickup actually.
Yeah. This is interesting. Triple stack Ancients, they were thinking about doing it, but they realized that Sync Esports is actually pushing the middle lane, so they don't want to do it just yet. Obviously don't want to get caught out committing to that. Magma's going to run into Berserker over here. Berserker does have that Insanitary's finish now with the, of course, Elder Parasite on top of that. He actually dodges the chain spike. Here comes a mark for death, though, so the chase is on. Magnus needs to get out of here some way, somehow. He's got a stun coming up in 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Look at that damage. Is it going to be enough?
Stun.
He did not actually stun Berserker, though. And that arguably is a difference maker. Now, again, Berserker, the stun reduction, so it still might not matter, to be fair, but, yeah, not actually hitting him with the stun.
He could have portal keyed that, I think. I think he might have been able to take a portal key away. And Silhouette is just going toe-to-toe with Berserker. Like, without Berserkers using Carnage and without, obviously, the Elder Parasite, he doesn't do too much work, honestly. Like, he's one of those heroes, particularly if he goes Staff of the Master, you'll start to see it. And without the Carnage and without his ultimate, he doesn't do too much damage. Like, if you look at his base attack damage, only 125, it's when he uses the Carnage, that's when he becomes incredibly dangerous. So, if BMG can somehow find a timing where they can take a team fight without that down, and actually middle lane.
Yeah, there's a find right here, but actually Pharaoh, he's got that teamwork once again. Ophelia comes in, Bubbles and Engineer all of a sudden the one's in trouble. In fact, Bubbles, he is going to drop. Engineer is going to be fine. Parasite, though, comes in to clean up with that Codex in the background. Electrician also here, but now he's going to be locked down. Torch Raven doing plenty of damage as that main support, but Electrician just tanky enough. That's what he's good at, man, tanking damage with an electric shield and his item build. And he ultimately gets away in the end. So really a 1-for-1 exchange. Bubbles for the Pharaoh. These are going to be triple stack Ancients, though, taken by BMG. So I guess, if anything, that's also what they kind of win right there. They fight off Sync from maybe stealing the Ancients. And they are going to let Silhouette actually finish them off. So Silhouette's farm, by the way, she's got the Nullstone. I'm sure we're going to see the portal key purchase here from Haxron in a second, as soon as he finishes clearing off those Ancients. So his progression really starting to kick in here. 440 gold per minute right now coming out. But again, it goes back to, and it was confirmed in chat, it looked like, that sure enough, the ultimate from Electrician, the Cleansing Shock, it will instantly kill the illusion spawn from Silhouette. So this is a handicap Silhouette in a sense, when you think of it that way.
Definitely.
So.
And I guess actually the same time, obviously, the Staff of the Master might be able to sort of Cleansing Shock the ultimate from Silhouette, and obviously then onto Berserker as well, because that's the two main factors, obviously. Boost up Berserker's sort of farm, Berserker's sort of mobility, so he doesn't get kited, and at the same time, obviously, sort of cancel out Silhouette's ultimate, and maybe we haven't seen it too much yet, but it's going to take effect in sort of the mid and late game. Actually, top lane, though.
Parasite, he's going to be beat out of the Hell Cannon, and now Silhouette getting turned out, and becomes the Wrath of the Pharaoh, and Silhouette's going to hold his ground, but Pharaoh, he just ends up melting. Yeah, Silhouette's like, never mind, I'm not going to commit to that. What's done is done. At least Super KG is saving the life of Silhouette, but there's the middle tower kill in the process coming out from Sync Esports right there. And now they're going to go for the top tower, as they should. And this should definitely be a tower kill with that setup. What's the level of the Codex? It's still level 1, actually. He's going to keep it at level 1. Actually, yeah, he buys another Neophyte's book. Okay.
Yeah, so the reason being is because he wants to have a quick way to actually cancel out the Nullstone, like I said before, so he can use the face hug. And we actually saw it there. Instantly got rid of the Nullstone from Silhouette, and then started using the Electrician's grip to sort of lock him down. Obviously, Pharaoh did come in, but ended with his life in that respect. But yeah, I think he's going to pick up a Powers of Box in the end, because it's still a great team fight item, and there's not great ways that BMG can really deal with it either. So I'm just going to follow up with that.
It actually looks like, I think you were right, Kizu is going the Staff of the Master. He's got a Neophyte's book. He has 2,000 gold saved here, 2,100 even, so we're going to most likely see him purchase that here. And that means he will, again, just to clarify what that actually does, it will mean Shock now chains to 2 additional nearby allies, as you see on the text right there. So, you know, I've always thought about, especially when we saw Keeper of the Forest, I brought this up every now and then. Hell, we are seeing Keeper of the Forest make somewhat of a comeback, to be fair, as of late. That's safe to say, especially here in Cycle 4. Why Electrician wasn't really picked up more as almost like a counter with the Staff of the Master? I mean, ideally, or hell, even a Monarch for that matter. Seems like would be pretty good. You know, just the AoE purge effect. But this is an illusion, by the way, that Berserker's chasing down. So, yeah, he's going to realize that. There you go. He did use his Carnage, but again, that's the great thing about Berserker. I mean, it's only a 40-second cooldown right now on Carnage, and it goes down to 30 seconds at level 3, and it's an uptime of what? 12 seconds. So we're looking at a pretty good uptime right there. That
goes down to 30 as well, level 6. Or
exactly.
Level 3,
so what is that? 18 seconds of downtime that you're looking at between Carnage cooldown. So
I mean, you will see that actually have quite a big effect, actually. Like, whenever I used to play, like, Berserker, although Bubbles jumping in onto Torture could not find the kill, like, if a team fight does last longer than 12 seconds, like, after that, honestly, Berserker is kind of useless, because obviously the Elder Parasite only lasts 12 seconds as well, so he's got 12 seconds of absolute rape face going on, but after that, Berserker does kind of do a little bit lackluster in that respect. So if BMG can somehow maybe force out the rotations from you know, the Elder Parasite and the Carnage, and then sort of disengage and then rotate back after, you know, the Carnage is down and the Elder Parasite is down, then, you know, that could be a viable team sort of strategy to go into these team fights. But we'll have to see how it's going to work in practice. Engineer might be getting caught off here, actually.
Energy field is out. You see Silhouette is ready to look to go in, but doesn't want to commit too far at the same time, and he has a portal key. But yeah, does not want to overstep her boundaries, and in the end, will actually be jumped on herself, actually, by Bubbles coming in, but no follow-up magnet, so with the counter eruption on to Bubbles, Bubbles melts away. As a result, Parasite, not much he could have done in the process, so that was pretty much planned all on there for BMG, the bait onto Silhouette. However, the chase does continue. Torture, he's still taking some massive damage, but not enough. However, Berserker will clean him up with the chain spike, and he's continuing to chase. Pharaoh Mummy Walls, though, will block that out, and now Pharaoh's just going to TP away. Kind of back and forth battle continues here between these two teams at this point. Is Berserker going for a yeah, that would be...
It's going to be stuff. Nah, it'd be stuff.
Okay,
you don't go shrunken on Berserker.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's just like, there's multiple reasons why shrunken might not be their best option. But
yeah, there's the Staff of Master on Electrician. I'd like to see some tablets being picked up, actually, because this Pharaoh Mummy Walls is going to be a big factor, particularly about sort of kiting Berserker. So if they can get some... tablets, then obviously Berserker's not going to go shrunken, so he can still be used up in that respect. And look at the power of Berserker taking down Conqueror as well. It just absolutely melts, man.
Yep, Carnage works on everything, including towers and Conqueror. So, yeah, he just tearing through it as you would expect. And this is going to be a free Conqueror kill as a result here, coming out for Sync Esports, of course. And I'm sure we'll see the token on Berserker on top of it all. This should also give him enough to finish that Staff of the Master. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, it definitely should give him enough to finish the Staff of the Master once they do kill it. So probably get that. You actually see you open up some inventory space right there. And again, now to clarify that, a couple of staff on new heroes, I'm sure people might be asking. So for Berserker, it actually removes old debuffs and disables, so thus going back to the whole shrunken head logic, why you might as well get Staff of the Master instead, especially when you have another Parasite already. And it also increases your bonus damage done and removes the increased damage. It's honestly one of the strongest staff effects in the game. I think that's hands down. You could easily say that. With all that it does. So what is he doing right here? That's gonna bother me.
He potted up, so it is. He wants to get his most effective set of the health pots. So it's just quite normal to do. But yeah, I mean, with this Staff of the Master though, like BMG have to be incredibly aware of it, and at the same time try and lock him down as much as possible. I think they might be able to actually sort of burst him down if you know, everything is sort of conjoined and everything is sort of started in that respect, because he only has 1900 HP, which isn't too much in that respect, but obviously he's taking a lot more damage from the Elder Parasite as well. Always, I think it's 15% more damage taken, so they can burst him down if, you know, everything goes according to plan, but at the same time he's got token now, so that's going to be a very, very hard factor, and I think I'm going to actually look into sort of take a tier 3 and Rax BMG have good sort of high ground defense, obviously with the Eruption and with Wrath of the Pharaoh and Mummy Wars, but going against Berserker with 2 lives, I mean, it's going to be tough, man.
Yeah, it doesn't get much tougher than that for sure. So we'll see if BMG's up for the challenge. I mean,
Double damage as well.
But,
oh my god, he's got DD.
God.
Oh
That just really adds insult to injury. Look at the carnage, man. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast he's staring through that tower. You see the numbers popping up now. He is starting to drop right here. Oh, look at that, actually. It goes down pretty low again with taking off the Sanitarius even. So,
I
they
mean,
don't even get the tower kill, actually. So it's almost like...
I mean, Berserker's so low, though, they don't want to sort of kill him and then have him
True.
initiated on. One thing to note, though, I'd actually really like to see if... I mean, it would probably happen quite accidentally in that case, but even if it's not, I'd like to see what cases should do. Because, obviously, Berserker's taken a lot of damage, particularly, obviously, with the 15% increase Elder Parasite, but Aphelia's Nature's Wrath is probably one of the most underrated spells in the game, but he's going to take 28% extra damage taken as well, so add that on to the Elder Parasite. Berserker's actually going to be dropping quite quickly, so if Electrician's on the ball, he should really try and Cleansing Storm the Nature's Wrath from Aphelia, because otherwise Berserker can easily fall if Sync are not careful. So I'd like to sort of see spamming that Cleansing Stock as much as possible from K2.
Yeah, interesting look right there. I mean, that actually makes a point that Haxton is 5-0-4 here on Silhouette, so when that says doing pretty good. But yeah, as far as the overall farm, it's not skyrocketing. 444 gold per minute, again, very solid, but definitely not taking off. He's got the Firebrand pickup here. He's going to be pushing the top lane. In fact, should get the tower kill here. As you see, but back into the bottom lane. Talbot on a Berserker in the front lines. He's being locked down. He's going to very likely fall. He will.
Safe.
He actually popped Carnage. Yeah, so he's not going to have that coming back up. As he does, Energy Field is put down, though. Silhouette, she gets locked down as a result of it. And the lockdown even further with the static grip. Can she actually get away? No, she cannot. Does she have a buyback? She does. She's going to use it immediately. Will they be able to fight this off? In comes back Silhouette, and now Berserker. He is dropping Eruption as well. Can't stun in, though, as it was on cooldown, so the Eruption basically doing nothing. Those Purges, man, trying to keep them alive. Steam back to yes, down goes Berserker, and the chase is real in favor of BMG. Electrician still trying to get away. Cleansing Shock again. Not going to matter. He goes down. Parasite also in trouble. Whoa. Okay, Portal Key over here. And it may ultimately make the escape as a result of that. But yeah, good fight back. The only buyback was Haxford on the Silhouette, obviously a big one. But they do hold. They don't even lose a tower at that point. And now Silhouette's going to free farm the middle lane here and push it out. Hold from BMG is real. Getting Berserker when they did, I mean, that was crucial.
Yeah, but it's still actually used the buyback, though, coming out from Silhouette, so it's obviously decent. Obviously, they defended Rax, but again, it's hard. But obviously, they were fighting against Token. But you still see, though, Berserker does drop quite quickly, like particularly when he had the Token, like with the Nature's Wrath from Ophelia, as well as the Elder Parasite debuff with the increased damage taken. He drops incredibly fast, honestly, with obviously all the damage coming out from BMG. So, I mean, when he picks up Behemoth Solo, that's when he's going to become an absolute beast, and I don't think they're even going to be able to kill him. So, yeah, I mean, when Behemoth is picked up on Berserker, it's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of issues that I don't think BMG are going to be able to address. But that being said, they're still a long time away from that, so at least there's a little bit of sort of saving grace there for BMG.
Yeah, they do get the Abyssal Skull, I believe I just saw purchased on Parasite, actually, and that's going to be delivered to him, so an Abyssal Skull, another good pickup for the team as a whole, especially for that help that Berserker out. With the Life Stone, also, you know, the armor mitigation, of course, great against Silhouette, so good reasons for that. Sacrificial Stone on Bubbles here. Another plus armor for the team, again, to help against the Silhouette. Now, Pharaoh actually gets his barbed armor picked up. Actually even uses it right there. I don't know if he expected something or maybe just a misclick, but has that, and that'll ideally be for, you know, locking down the Berserker, then popping that and forcing him to kind of just stand there in this sense. Torture gets picked off, though, by Slap playing the Parasitic Course, still that level 1 Codex, but more than enough damage to take out a hero like Torture at that point.
Oh, damn, Magmus.
Magmus top lane, yep, Engineer coming in, can he let the kegs done? Yes, he can, beautiful angle, in comes the Energy Field. Dust just in case, he's going to run right through it, he tries to pop the Steam Bath to disjoint a little bit, but again, the Dust making that pretty much impossible, and Berserker comes in.
Man, he used that stun far too early. Like, he has to make sure that he doesn't get hit by that kickstun. If he get hit by the kickstun, he's going to die. But I mean, he should have just waited with the kickstun. Waited with the lava surge. Instead, he sort of used it a little bit prematurely, and as a result, still gets hit by the kickstun. So I mean, Zing, they're actually going to look on sort of take, or at least go high ground. Actually, Silhouette, oh, she cannot get picked off.
I think she's going to. Can she somehow get out of this?
Oh.
Yep, she pressed R, but she went
What?
right into Parasite.
Oh, man.
It's like it was planned all along. I'm pretty sure Parasite was even sitting there maybe waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
And then just eventually finish off Haxorus. So well played by Sync, very deserving of that pickoff. And now they're going to push here. I mean, again, Silhouette does have another buyback, but it would be her final buyback at this point.
She's going to have to use it.
Gonna have to use it, exactly. In fact, Magnus has one, but he's going to be up in 15 seconds. So it's tough. Does he use it right here? It's so tough, man. It's like, I know you want to save it, but yeah, they're going to definitely lose the tower. You see Pharaoh trying to harass as much as possible. He's going to be gone. He ends up exploding. He couldn't even use his barbed armor right there. I guess he did. But now Magnus is going to resurrect, and Silhouette did buy back, so they're at least going to save the racks. That's the important thing. Can Magnus catch anybody? He will catch Parasite initially. Here we go, the reaction though from Bubble. Silhouette though jumps in. Parasite dropping. Not fast enough though, and now Silhouette's being locked out. Can she pour it out? No, she cannot. Yes, she can. Never mind. God dang it. That was the illusion the whole time. Anyways, Magnus being chased down. Berserker. The carnage is up. You see the 500 plus damage. He didn't finish off Magnus though. Magnus actually going to survive in the end. Never mind. Kelfoot up and clean him up, and the chase just continues, man. I mean, Silhouette is still alive in the end. And another TP coming in. This time it's Magnus actually pointing it with the Portakey. Electrician gets caught. He will fall, and Sync finally is going to officially retreat here.
They didn't get racks, though.
They did not get racks, exactly. I mean, they got multiple buybacks, so still nice stun right there, by the way, an engineer. We'll get another kill as a result, but Annabelle died, in fact. So, yeah, they didn't get racks, but they got, what, 3 buybacks, including the second and final on Haxor.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously they were sort of holding the buyback there from Magnus, but I really disagree with it because they actually lost Pharaoh in the meantime because Magnus didn't buy back. Yeah, I know it was only 10 to 15 seconds, but with Pharaoh in the mix, obviously he's got barbed armor. He could do a lot of damage if he catches Berserker. And Magnus has to buy back anyway, so if he bought back at the start, I really think they could have been defending that a lot better, but chose not to. And yeah, like you said, no buybacks for Silhouette now. If she gets picked off one more time, that's completely game. And Zinc are now really going to try and focus on Silhouette and try and bring her down. Obviously, they've got ways to sort of deal with her illusions because obviously the stuff, the Master Cleansing Storm. They've got the Silence, obviously, and the quick Nullstone get off, obviously, with the tablet or the Codex, depending on what Slap chooses to decide. And I mean, BMG, they've got, I mean, their back's against the wall, and the only sort of way they can really start looking to get back into this game is through multiple pickoffs, actually, with Silhouette, with Farrah, and with Magnus. And at the moment, I mean, Zinc are sort of sticking together as they should. Zinc are going to look for Kongor in the next couple of minutes, go from there, and then push bottom, and then take the game from there. And it really is on the ball court of Zinc here, sort of before BMG can get back into it. And there's the Excellent Alpha. I mean, Berserker's going to be so hard to bring down now.
Yes, yes, he is, especially once he finished that all the way to the behemoth start as you were referring to earlier. So, now, okay, Geometer's Bane just finished on Silhouette. And, you know, I'm sitting here trying to ponder and ask myself if that really is the best item. I mean, I guess it's a case of, like, what else would you get? Hell, I honestly think something like a Nullfire Blade wouldn't be a bad option here for Silhouette the more I'm thinking about it. But, yeah, it's just Geometer's Bane just... There's already so many reasons why the illusions are going to just die right away. Not only like
she can't split
energy field, she can't split push effectively. Yeah, so
yeah.
I just don't know if that was the best choice here from Hax.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, he could have gone Nullfly, and I mean, and also he could have gone. I know it sounds very, very risky and kind of out of it, but he could have even gone like maybe Shield Breaker or into Rift Shard to try and get the burst potential, try and get the pickoffs, because I don't think the Geoman's Bane is going to have any kind of impact here. I mean, normally you want to sort of build as many sort of stat items on Silhouette to sort of take effectiveness of the illusions, but if you're playing against an electrician, then your illusions aren't going to take any kind of impact. So, in that respect, yeah, it's a little bit of a questionable pickup. But I mean, it is a way sort of to maybe sort of disjoin any sort of face hugs from Parasite, which is a big deal, honestly, because if he does get silence from that, then he can be in trouble. But top lane, though, Berserker might be in trouble.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for BMG. Can they actually finish him off? You look at the barbed armor. That's all that reflected damage, man. But look at how much he's hitting for at the same time. He will go down. Bubbles comes in. Kelfa comes out. Now, Berserker doesn't have a buyback, so this is a pretty silly commitment here from Sync, or maybe isn't, maybe not. Sync, actually, they're going to come out on top. They do pick off Silhouette, and they get a little bit of revenge there. So I was going to say that could have been really risky on their part, but they actually make it work plentiful, and that will be the end of it. But yeah, you saw, I mean, Berserker, I guess he didn't really have a choice at that point, but he did a lot of damage to himself right there with that barbed armor. The chase continues, actually. Torture is going to be picked off here. He's just not fast enough. Couldn't get out of there, no TP, and they're going to try to go further on to Ophelia. In fact, Parasite making a point of that. He's going to come in, Magnus though with the stun, and that should actually save Ophelia. Maybe Bubbles going really far. They are diving this, man. They are really diving this. Okay, no, he's going to be fine. But again, Silhouette does not have a buyback, and this push on top lane is going to be real now. Well, we'll see the transition, though.
Oh, Magnus is going in.
Wow, yeah, he was trying to make a big play right there, but now Zimme's going to be caught out, actually. In comes Wrath of the Pharaoh, though. There's the energy field. Barbed Armor is up once again. Engineer dropping because of it, but actually now Magnus trying to be on the run, and down it goes Pharaoh. Magnus stuns out. He'll be fine. Electrician maybe not going to be fine, actually. He's trying to die, but no. Not enough right there. So I think that'll finally finish this fight. Yes, it will.
Zinc are going to have troubles actually sort of breaking base without Berserker. So the pick off top was actually a big deal. Obviously, they lost a couple of heroes after sort of the catch potential, but at least they obviously slowed down the catch. The push potential from Zinc by killing the Berserker. But I mean, Berserker's closing in on that behemoth side, and when he gets there, it's going to be very, very hard. Slapped is actually maxing out the Codex, which I think is actually a good play to make because you saw how quickly Silhouette is actually bursting down. So Slap's thinking that he can silence him, but they need the burst potential. If Berserker's sort of hitting another target, they need ways of dealing with the Silhouette, and they've got locked down, but they need the damage. And Codex isn't a bad item choice, honestly, for burst potential. Obviously, it increases the range, increases the damage, obviously, and reduces the cooldown, which can be important, obviously, have double uses in terms of a team fight. But Berserker is going in on Kongo now, and it's dropping very, very fast.
As you would expect, now Carnage is going to be off cooldown right here, but again, with being only 30-second cooldown in the first play, it's going to be coming right back up shortly. Now, they are going to fall back. They realize BMG knows of this, especially with that rocket coming in. There's another rocket even, and the Conqueror attempt is going to be stalled here from Sing, so being patient with it. They know they don't need to really force this issue, but at the same time, take advantage of the Hellborn advantage. They're going to go back in. And this is definitely going to be dead Conqueror. I don't think BMG is going to be able to get there remotely in time. Yeah, they're not even going to go for it, and that's for the good decision. In fact, they might have been hanging around a little bit too close, as Pharaoh is going to be jumped right there, and Pharaoh will fall when it's all said and done. So there's the kill. Berserker, I'm guessing, yes, he got the token of life right here. And now they're actually going to go for the barracks, go bottom. That's the plan here.
Yeah, Pharaoh no buyback as well. I mean, I don't think BMG can defend unless something horribly goes wrong here for Zinc, but Haxtron's, I don't know what Haxtron's doing. He's bottom, but he's trying to try and delay the push, but the Zinc are already in the base, so.
Yeah, Torture, unfortunately. What is this? Super KG. Most deaths without a kills, and he has 12 right there, so he actually ties the record. Tankafat, actually, his teammate held that before. not a record you want to hold, but that's just how it is, I guess. So yeah, there goes the tower, bottom or top or middle, I should say. Obviously, the bottom rack's already going down, middle rack's not going down. And I think that is going to do it for BMG. They can't really hold off much longer. They're going to give it an all-in A+ effort here to finish things off. Berserker takes a good damage. Eruption comes in. Berserker will fall. With that token, though, going to come right back up. Let's see what he can do. Does he have Carnage? He does not currently, but now he has it. And look at the turn potential. The right clicks, the 500+ damage coming out, but no, they needed to run. And again, you see that purge, though, constantly being used by KZ, man. I think it's, what, a 4-second cooldown? Yeah, 4-second cooldown at level 3. I mean, he can just spam that basically throughout fights and just giving his teammates that increased move speed as a result. So, in fact, the chase continues, though. Berserker, he was okay. Yeah, he's fine. He's got a behemoth heart now.
So tanky.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's going to be fine. And, I mean, they still really want to jump him. They probably know that they just need to get something here. I mean, the lead is pretty big, obviously, for Sync, so kind of going all in as we talk about. I mean, no more buybacks on Ophelia. Not that big of a deal, but especially Silhouette now for a while. That's the biggest deal there. So really the timetable kind of closing pretty quickly for Bad Monkey Gaming. So Berserker, yeah, he's got the Behemoth's right now. What is that, nearly 3,400 life. You see Silhouette going in, but he just can't even really do much. Berserker pops the Carnage. Those are illusions. They clean them up immediately. And here comes the chase. Basically two-shot Torturer. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Shifty pick up from Bubbles now as well. They're just going to try and give as much control here for Berserker.
Another all-in. Here we go. Magnus, actually, good line's done right there. Berserker, he is kind of dropping. Maybe not really. He doesn't have Carnage up, though. So he needs to be a little careful, but he's doing plenty of damage. Silhouette's going to end up falling. And I expect the GGs to be happening here, so. Just kill Berserker. It's really easy, I know, right? Yeah, that's not easy. That's not easy when he has the farm that he does. So Berserker, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, obviously overpowered and underrated in the end. So yeah, Mickey, great performance there overall, and no, but that was definitely a team performance. But
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the electrician pick again, I really loved that. And even though we didn't see a whole lot of that, as far as a spectator goes, but I
still love the
the idea is there,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Haxford was aware of that. So it's like he just couldn't do it as effectively
exactly.
as he wanted to. So
Yeah. I love the innovation, and it made sense as well. So great counter pick actually coming from Zeke. Didn't have the greatest impact. I mean, to me, there's two sort of players that had great. Obviously, it was Mickey. He was doing tons of damage, but as Laps as well. Honestly, he really dictated the early game, and whenever you give like a team like Zinc like a 4,000 or 5,000 gold lead, it's just such a big difference. Like you give Zinc an inch, and they take a mile from you. And it was Lapped every single time BMG were close to sort of coming back. It was Lapped who was there, getting those kills on the border and really snowballing Zinc in sort of the lead they had. And once they had that lead, they just didn't lose it. BMG had sort of slight chances, but in the end, Zinc just carried the game from there, honestly, and just great play out from them. And
Yeah.
Berserker, man, doing a lot of work in the end, honestly. Even though I had